have seen many people struggle while formatting a Microsoft Word document. And in today's video, I will show you some tricks for those people that may find formatting a Microsoft document difficult or broken in some cases. So first tip is, before start editing or before getting in the formation part, go to the styles menu, which you'll find inside the home ribbon, and edit these first according to your need. For example, I want all of my text to be in Times New Roman. The normal text should be in font 10, and I would like two headings, and that's all. I'll just do that for now on. To do that, I'll simply right click on it, go to the modify section. Here I can do all of the modifications that I need. Now I have done these modifications. Let me explain you why I should use styles. Because if I have more than enough text and several modifications or styling or formation requires repetitive work, in that case I will not do these kind of modification every time. That's why I created styles according to my needs, and I will just apply these styles in those certain areas. Now I've created a simple document for say, and I want to start formatting it. And I have already created all of these styles that I need, except for this one, and this should be justified. Okay. Now that you can see, I have already done the styling. I'll just implement the headings that I need. So I'll just select the portion and implement the style for that portion only. Now what does this do? This actually this not only make your workflow easier, also it lets you create a table of content in automatically. I will say I want to create a table of content in here. I'll just say I don't need that. Go to the reference section, create a table of content, and voila, that's it. It took all of the headings that I have and created a content automatically. And if I edit or increase the page size, something like that, include other headers, it will take those and automatically refresh and update accordingly. Now the next tip is, whenever you are doing some correction or you have already got a messed up document and you want to fix some issues or try to see what's happening underneath, turn on this icon. What does this do? This shows some symbols about this. This is a symbol for end paragraph. That means there is a empty paragraph, and if I had turned it off, I couldn't see it with my blank eye. But when I turn this on, I know that there is a blank paragraph, and I don't want that. I want to remove it, so I'll just delete it. Similarly, I can see there is a tab space in here. The paragraph is ended in here, something like this. And sometimes what we do, we create a new line using shift enter, and when you use this kind of symbol or shift enter, and also apply the justification in this one, then you will find that a sentence will spread out something like this, and you may not know that why is that happening. So this is because of that. This is the reason, and simply you don't use shift enter to create new line, you rather use simple enter. And there's another benefit of using this symbol. For example, I have created a table and I don't know what it is for some reason in my next page. Something like this. I don't want it to be in my next page. I want it in this empty space. Whatever I do, press backspace or delete something, it doesn't bring this table up in here, and I don't know why is that happening. I may try to drag and drop this table, but it won't work. It may work, but for text it won't work. And you can find out with this icon. Whenever you turn this on, you will see that there is a section break or column break or page break, and you cannot select this portion unless you turn this part on. And after turning it on, you can find out what is actually happening underneath. And if you don't want it, just control select and delete it, and your problem will be resolved. These are the things that you can do with this icon, and it is actually helpful when you are not writing but actually formatting the document structure. The next thing I will talk about is creating a table or stylizing a table. No matter how you write a table, it doesn't matter, but after creating a table, you use table layout design and something like that. If you don't like any of these design, create your own design and implement them on that table. Now that I have created a table, I want to apply a style. Why should I apply style, not just modify this one? It's because you want your document to be uniform. You may have more than one table, and if you try to modify each of them separately and it doesn't match up, or even if you want to match them up or uniformly do the styling, you'll have to do this repetitive task. But you can simply create a table design and then apply that style on every single table, and it will save much more time. How to do that? Just create a new table style. Let me show you how actually it works. This is a sample table, and I can see what's gonna change with this. I want every text to be in Times New Roman, and then when the style is based on let's say apply the formatting to table, whole table, I want this style to be applied for the whole table. Then I will just keep this as it is and change it accordingly, and I will that's it. Next, I want the header rows to be bold. Then I will simply change it to header rows, and the text is as it is. I want this to be bold. I want header rows to have top and bottom border, so I'll keep the header rows as it is and implement the top border, implement the bottom border. I want this whole table, and I want a bottom border at the end of this table. Then I will again go to the whole table and implement this bottom. I can also implement some column row color changes. For example, I want the first column to be something like this. I can do that. You can change everything After creating this template, I will just select the table and apply the template on here. As you can see, the template has been applied according to my need. And if you use the style section, table design and style, and if you have multiple tables, you can uniformly implement all of them. You don't need to worry about it. Another thing, that for some reason you have copied a table from somewhere else and pasted in here, and it had moved on something like this, or it is in a flotation mode. You can simply drag this on and replace it in here, but it may not work properly. Why? Whenever you type a new line above it and you want all the text to be remain above the table, but you press enter and press enter and press enter, and you see that the text is wrapped around this table, and you don't want that. How you can fix this issue? Simply right click on the table, go to the table properties, and here the text wrapping options. You don't want the text to be wrapped around, and then simply click on the none and press OK, and the table is no more gonna wrapped around. Then again drag this thing at the bottom, and let's verify this once more. Okay, now whenever I create a new line, it will push the table below, so there's not going to be any issue. Now if your table have, let's say, it doesn't look good, so I'll just remove the color for now on, or let me just change. Let me just modify this table style, and I don't want the first column to be no color. Now if your document contains a table that is long means it crosses more than one page, how you can simply repeat the headers. Many people don't know how to do that. Let me show you that. You can simply click on the table, go to the table layout, click on this repeat header rows. What you can see that it had I selected the whole table, and this option considered the whole table as a header, and I don't want that. I want just this row to be header, or maybe these two rows to be header. Then I will select these two rows and create the repeat header. In that case, these two rows will repeat itself. Now you can see that both of these rows are repeated if the pages are multiplied. If there is no page separation, then it will not exist. Let me show you that. See, it doesn't repeat now, but if it does cross a page, it will repeat the header rows, and this is how you can actually work with your tables. The next thing is, I will show you how you can actually insert, or let's say format figures. Okay, this is a figure, and in this figure option you will see some layout options, and the best way to use a figure is as this inline with text option. These are okay, but only use these when you need them specifically. Other than that, always use this inline with text. Why is that? Because sometimes when you use figure that wrapped around text can broke your or may seem like that your document has been broken, or whenever you render it or do some modification, it can look like a broken document. And if you don't want that, the simple fix is always use the inline with text. Always verify when you are actually editing or formatting your document that if your figure is in this layout option or something else. If it is something else, do it. And never try to resize any figure manually. Why is that? Whenever you try to resize a figure manually, you will not know that all of your figures have the same width or not. And if they are not at same width or same size, your document may look less professional. Then how the proper way is to go to the picture properties and use these size section, and the best practice is to tweak with the width option, not the height, because when we as a reader see a document, we like to see we like to see the similar width figures, and that's why we actually use the justification for the text as well. So let me give it to the 6th now on, and if I want it to be centered, I can as it is considered as a text, I can use the text option also. Okay. Now the proper way to give captions. Many of us rely on manual captions, something like this, figure 01. And what's wrong with that? First of all, you cannot automatically generate a table of content for the figures and tables or the equations. Second of all, if you include any other figures on top or bottom of your existing figures, you will have to renumber all of these from the very beginning. And if you had cited any of your figures or tables inside your main text, you will also have to modify them manually, which is a hard labor, and of course you don't want that. The proper way to include any kind of caption is to select the thing you want the caption for, go to the reference section, press on insert caption, and provide a caption. You can choose a caption to be below or above. If this is a figure caption or table caption or equation caption, you can choose whatever you need. You can also create a new label. For example, you don't want the figure to be written as figure 1, you want it to be written as fig or picture, something like that. You can do it in here. You can you can change the numbering style in here. You can tweak these according to your need. You can also change the caption style from the style menu in here. There is a caption, and if I don't want these colored, I can always change in here, and it will automatically modify all of my captions accordingly. The next part I will show you is using equations and some shortcuts. To include an equation box, don't go most of us may go to the insert section and equation or symbol. The shortcut for this is press Alt with equal sign, and this box will open up. Now you can simply write some stuff to automatically format things. Like you want a fraction number, let's say a by b, and whenever you press space, it will automatically format it. And you want a to be squared, then you just press the up sign and 2 and space, it will take the square. You want b to be to have a subtraction of c, then you can just press the underscore sign and press c, and voila. You want this whole thing to be inside in a bracket, then do that. and press space, and the bracket will resize itself. And you want a subtract of multiple item, not just a single item, then you will press the underscore, then start with a bracket, then x plus y, and the bracket space, and see, the Microsoft Word automatically replaces or format the equation for you. You can also include a summation sign with sum space, the summation will sign will generated. You can include Greek letters or Latin letters that we actually include in our equations. For example, alpha, beta, gamma, and something like this, eta, whatever. And as you can see, you can create complex or complicated equations without even touching these sections, and you can do that with shortcuts. You can also include your own shortcuts. How to do that? Go to your files, options. In options, in proofing section, in autocorrection options, you will see the math autocorrection option. You can create your own shortcuts, or if you don't know which sign requires what kind of shortcuts, you can also check these from here as well. If you know how to write LaTeX, but for some reason you need to write that on a word processor, you can also go to this option in the equation section. You can see you can write LaTeX and convert them according to your need. You don't want you want your equations to be written in a simple linear way, you can also do that. Now that I have almost created a basic document, I can cite things in here. Let's say I want to cite the figure. I'll just go to the cite option. And another trick is you don't really need to switch between mouse and keyboard at all. You can totally write things and use these options over here with keyboard shortcuts. All of them are accessible through keyboard shortcuts, and this is, I think, an underrated feature of Microsoft Word suites. Whenever you press Alt, you'll see there are shortcuts are highlighted, whichever key is required to access what. I want to go to the reference section, then I'll have to press S, and it took me to the reference section. I want a cross reference, then I'll press RF, and it brought up the cross reference panel. And I want I want figures. I can choose the entire figures or the only label and numbers, and I'll do that and insert. So here you can see the thing is inserted, and if I insert another figure above, and it will change in figure number 2, and this portion will also automatically be changed. Same goes for these tables cross reference. You can cross reference many things. You can cross reference, like as you can see, there are many things that can be cross referenced. The next part should be using bibliography or citation, but as you can see, I don't use the default citation section. Sometimes I use Mendeley, or sometimes I use Zotero, and that requires a separate video. So that's all for today. Thank you.